Let me start the recording. Right. Let me go and open the class notes. First, go and open the class notes. So right now we are discussing about what? So we are discussing about these 4 introduction classes, right? So among these 4 introduction classes, already we done with what? Already we done with class 1 and also class 2. So in the class 1, we discussed about introduction to Power Platform. And in the class 2, we discussed what? Introduction to Power Apps, right? So today is class 3. So in today's class, we'll go and discuss about what? We'll go and discuss about introduction to Power Automate. Let me keep here. Today is class 3. Let me keep here. Today is class 3. So in today's class, we'll go and discuss introduction to Power Automate, right? Fine. So now before going to start discussing what is Power Automate, first let me keep here. So from the last two classes, we are understanding about what? We are trying to understand and to implement what? We are trying to understand and implement this 4-step business applications process, right? Fine. So let me keep it here, guys. From the last two classes, we are trying to understand and implement this business applications process. So we know theoretically what is this 4-step business applications process, guys, which we discussed in the class 1. And in the yesterday's class, we started discussing practicals. So we discussed how to create an app using Power Apps. And then we understand how we'll go and store the data in the data sources from Power Apps, right? These 2 points we discussed. So in order to go and create the apps, what the software we used? In order to go and create the apps, the software we used what? Power Apps. And second step, data sources. So what is the data source software we used in yesterday's class? The data source software we used in the yesterday's class, that is SharePoint. One of the data source, SharePoint, right? Fine. So today we are going to discuss about the third step in this business applications process. What is the third step? Automations. So now in order to go and perform the automations, what the software we are going to use now? So we are going to use what? Power Automate. So with the help of Power Automate, how to do the automations, we'll understand in today's class, guys, right? So continuity of yesterday's class. I can say that continuity of yesterday's class will be today's class. So in the yesterday's class, we discussed about, as I said, that we know how to create one app in the Power Apps. And then we discussed how to store the data in the data sources. We understand how to submit the students' data to the data sources. Now my requirement, whenever the data comes here into the data sources, whenever the new student record is inserted into the SharePoint, my requirement, by taking that student details as a reference, by taking that student information as a reference, immediately I need to go and do some sort of automations, guys. So when I want to go and do some automations, whenever the new student record is inserted into the SharePoint list, by taking that student data as a reference, I need to go and perform some automations here in now today's class, right? Fine. So this is what's the agenda for today's class, guys. Is what's the agenda for today's class. So now, first of all, let me go and list out what are the different points we are going to discuss now in today's class. The first point will understand what is Power Automate. The first point will understand about what is Power Automate. Second point will understand what is meant by automation. Second point will understand about what is meant by automation. And next, third point will understand how to perform the automations, using Power Automate software, Uh, along with this, we'll understand one more point, that is who will use Power Automate software. Who will use what? Power Automate software. So these are the points which we are going to discuss here in today's class. These are all the points we'll go and cover, right? So now, among all those points, first let me go and discuss about who will use Power Automate, guys. First, we'll understand about who will use the Power Automate software. So as we know that, guys, as we know already in the last two classes we discussed. So who will use Power Automate? So as we know that if there is any company, if there is any company, the companies will do what? They'll do some business, right? So we are taking an example of well-known companies for us, Amazon. It is one company. They're doing some business called e-commerce business. And let's take some other company like ICICI. It is one company. They're doing some business, banking business. And we are taking an example of Swiggy. Swiggy is one company. They're doing some business called what? Food business, right? So so what the companies will do? The companies will do some business. Now, if the company is doing some business, then must the companies will have some repeated work process in their business. Guys. Companies will have what now? Definitely, the companies will have some repeated work process. There will be no doubt in that. The companies will have some repeated work process will be there. So if you take Amazon, Amazon company, they are doing the e-commerce business. So they'll have multiple repeated work process case. ICICI company also will have some work process. Swiggy also will have some other work process case. Every company will have some multiple work process will be there. Even if you take AB trainings case, AB trainings also will have multiple work process will have. Let's take an example of AB trainings in this scenario. So here, whenever the new student is inquired, whenever the new inquiry comes, what we need to do for every inquiry, for which course the student is inquired, we need to send one email regarding that course to the student. And also, what we need to do, we need to send one WhatsApp message to that student. We need to send one message, either in text or WhatsApp messages I need to send. And also, once after inquiries is done, next we have another process. Next we'll conduct the demos. So we need to send the reminders to the for the students regarding the demos. So for every demo, we need to send the reminders for all the students who are inquired. So like this, every company, definitely they'll have some work process, guys. There is no doubt in that. So every company they'll have some repeated work process will be there. So let's take here Swiggy. Let's take another example of Swiggy here, right? So here, right? So here, let's take Swiggy is doing some food business, right? Now let's take an example, guys. How Swiggy will have some n number of work process will be there. There will be n number of work process for Swiggy. There is no doubt in that case. So one of the work process which we know as a customer. So company means they'll have multiple or n number of work process will be there. As a customer, what is the work process which we know? Let me explain this. If you observe, whenever the order is placed, Swiggy company will send the confirmation email to that user, right? That is the repeat work process. For every order, the process will be same. So now, let's check how many orders will be placed per day. Let's take in complete India. Let's take 50,000 orders. Yes, I'm taking an example of 50,000 orders are placed. So for each and every order, what the Swiggy company need to do? For each and every order, Swiggy company, it need to send one confirmation email to the customer. Once the order is placed, they need to send one confirmation email to the customer that your order is placed successfully. And next, it need to send one confirmation email to the restaurant also that you need to prepare so and so food item. And then it will send another one more email to the customer that once the order is delivered, it will send another email to the customer regarding that your order is delivered successfully. So totally how many mails here in this scenario, Swiggy company need to send per day? They want to send 1.5 lakh emails, guys. How many mails? 1.5 lakh emails per day. So now it is possible to send 1.5 lakh mails per day with the help of humans means not easy, guys. Sending 1.5 lakh emails per day manually with the help of humans, no, it is not an easy task, right? So, but what Swiggy company decided here is, let us assume Swiggy is in the beginning stage, they are just starting their business. Let us assume that Swiggy company decided to do this work with the help of humans only. So let's take they're hiring some thousands of employees, guys. Some number, whatever the number is. So let's take, I'm taking an example of, let's take they're hiring some 30,000 employees or 20,000, some number. So they're hiring some big manpower. Why they are hiring this 30,000 employees? just to send the 1.5 lakh mails per day. Okay, maybe now this 30,000 employees, maybe they can send 1.5 lakh mails per day, guys. Okay, maybe they can do. But now, second point we need to understand, when the Swiggy company will send the confirmation emails to the customer and to the restaurants, once the order is placed in the app, immediately within the fraction of seconds, guys, it doesn't take much time. Hardly it will take 4 to 5 seconds, guys. Hardly it will take 4 to 5 seconds, not more than that, right? So now tell me, guys, even though you have 30,000 employees, these 30,000 employees, they can able to send the email to the customers in 4 to 5 seconds once the order is placed in the app. So let's say one of the customer is placed the order. So once the customer places an order, it is possible for you manually to understand who is the customer placed an order, what is the order details, order ID, customer name, order product, which product he is ordering, what's the price, what's the discount, what is the amount. So understanding the orders data and composing the email, sending that email to the customer, it is possible in within 4 to 5 seconds manually with the help of humans, even though you have 30,000 employees here. No, guys. So if you want to do this kind of work, if you want to do this kind of work with the help of humans, no, definitely humans are not able to do it. It is impossible to do this work using humans. So like this, every company, they'll have some repeated work process. So this is one of the work process which we know for Swiggy company, guys. Like this, Swiggy company will have a number of work processes will be there. Not only this is what the process we know as a customer. But company means they'll have a number of work process, right? So now, as we understand, we are not able to do this kind of work process with the help of humans. So companies are doing this work with the help of what? They're doing this work with the help of some systems or some softwares. If you're doing some work with the help of systems or softwares, then we'll call it as what? Automation. So you're doing something automatically with the help of some systems, right? So now, whatever the work process will have, I need to go and automate that work process, guys. Why we need to automate? Just now we understand, because I'm not able to achieve this work with the help of humans. So whatever the repeated work process will have, now I need to go and automate that process. So to automate that process, to automate the work process, now we need to have one software. What's that software? The companies are using nowadays to automate the process means they're using what? Power Automate. So let me go and keep here. So in order to go and automate the work process, we need to have one software called Power Automate, right? So here we understand who will use Power Automate. Clearly, we come to know who will use Power Automate. As we come to know that if there is any company, if the company is doing some business, then companies will have some work process. There is no doubt companies will have some repeated work process. Now, if you want to do this work process with the help of humans, as we know, it is not possible to do it. So now I want to automate that process. To automate the work process, we need to have an automation software. What's that software I'm using here? No, Power Automate, right? So clearly we understand who will use Power Automate. And also we understand one more point, guys. Power Automate is used for what? Power Automate is used for what? It is used to do some automations. It is used to perform some automations. Now, what work you are going to automate? We are going to automate the repeated work. We are going to automate what? Repeated work. Where you are going to automate the repeated work process? Within the business. Whatever the business you are doing within the business, we are going to automate the repeated work process with the help of Power Automate software, right? So, right, okay. Let me go and mention that point here. So as we come to know, nowadays companies are using Power Automate software, automate repeated work process, right? So nowadays companies are using the Power Automate software to automate the repeated work process. Fine, okay. And now from here, we need to understand what is Power Automate. We need to understand what is meant by automation. And then finally, we need to understand how to perform the automations with the help of Power Automate. How to perform the automations with the help of Power Automate. So these 3 points we need to understand now. What is Power Automate? What is automation? And how to perform the automations using Power Automate, right? Fine, okay. So here, right. So here, first let me go and discuss about what is Power Automate, guys. So as we know that already in the previous class, in the class one, if you go to the class one, already in the class one, already in the class one, we discussed about what is Power Automate. I said that what is Power Automate? It is an automation software which is used to automate the repeated work process, right? So let me go and mention the same point, but I'll keep it in a different way here now. Let me keep the definition. As we know that Power Automate is what software? It is an automation software. Let me keep that. Power Automate is an automation software. It's an automation software within the Power Platform, within the Power Platform, which is used to automate the repeated work process within the organizations. Within the organizations, right? Okay, we know what the definition of Power Automate. So I'm just enhancing it. And now let me understand about what is automation is. So as we know that already, what's meant by automation? Again, if you go to the class one, if you go to the class one, in the class one, already we covered about this. When I'm discussing about this business applications process, here we discussed about automation. I said that automation is nothing but what? Doing certain repeated work automatically without any human interactions. We'll call it as automation, guys. So let me go and keep that point here. Already we know that what's meant by automation. Now let's try to understand. Let's try to understand how to perform the automations with the help of Power Automate. We need to understand how to perform the automations using Power Automate. So here, there are different types of automations we can do in Power Automate. Let me keep here. The next point, understand the types of automations. So what are the different types of automations we can do in Power Automate? There are different ways, guys. The first one, we'll call it as automated cloud flows. The second one is scheduled cloud flows, scheduled cloud flows. And third one is instant cloud flows, instant cloud flows, right? Right. So these are all the three different types of automations we can do in Power Automate. Now, what is meant by this? What is meant by automated cloud flows? What's meant by scheduled? What's meant by instant? And when to go and use what? When to go and use what? Now let's start discussing this. First, I'll discuss about automated cloud flow. Now try to understand when to go and use this automated cloud flows. Let me keep here. First of all, these flows are used for what? These are used to automate the work process. Let me keep that point here. These are used to automate the repeated work process. When it is used to automate the work process means when an event is happened in the data sources. Simple guess. Try to understand. First of all, what is the use of this automated cloud flows? These are used to automate the work process. But when these are used to automate the work process, when something is happened in the data sources, when an event is happened in the data sources, that means when something is happened in the data sources, then only I want to go and do some sort of automations. So whenever if you want to do some automations based on something is happened in the data sources, then at that time we'll go and use the automated cloud flows, guys. So when an event, what is meant by an event? You'll understand. When an event is happened in the data sources, then only I want to automate the process. At the time we'll use it. So here I'm using one word called event, guys. Now what's meant by an event? And let's take one of the data source here. I'm taking the SharePoint, guys. As we are discussing about SharePoint, I'm taking the same here SharePoint as a source. So now let me go and open the SharePoint. Let me go and open the SharePoint. Go to the incognito mode. Let me log in with the license which we used in yesterday's class. Same license. right? Let me go to the search bar and then go and open the SharePoint, right? So I'm taking the SharePoint as data source case. Any data source it is. Like you can take SharePoint, Dataverse, SQL, Oracle, or Outlook, or Teams. Any, these are all called as data sources case. So let me go to the site which we create in yesterday's class. You can see the site we created in yesterday's class. Select that site, go to the site, and then go to the list we created. This is the list we created. Go to the list. And now in this list, we have some data, but where is the data? Let me go and open the Power App. We have two rows, right? In yesterday's class, we added three rows. We deleted only one row. We need to have the remaining two rows, but there is no data here. Go and open the app. Go to the tab called Apps tab in Power Apps. Let me go on. This is the app we created. Go and open the tab now. Click on icon, edit icon. We need to have some data. There is no doubt in that. Yesterday's class, we have two rows. Okay, understood. I think someone is using the license. I know you people have watched the password in yesterday's class. I can understand it. I can guess it. So someone uh, has gone through the license and they did some changes here. That's why we are losing the data here. Fine, no problem. So let me go and keep some records. Let me keep one record here. I'll keep Sunil, or let's take I'm keeping Warner record. Just I'm keeping some dummy value for now. Now try to understand. Once after entering the data, what we'll do, we'll go and click on what? Submit button. We'll go and click on what? Submit button. When I click on submit button, so now what happens? It will submit the data to the data sources, right? Now, if I go and check the data in the data source, when I refresh this list, now the record is created. Now try to understand here what is meant by an event is. What is an event here is? Event is when an event is happened in the data sources. So what's meant by an event is? Let's take an example case. Event is nothing but inserting the data into the SharePoint list. It is one event. If you update the data in the SharePoint list, it is an event. If you delete the data in the SharePoint list, it is an event. So like this, we'll have n number of events case. For now, try to understand the concept. These are called as what? Events. So now try to, what is my requirement? Our requirement is whenever the new student record is inserted into the SharePoint list. So which student record we inserted? We need to send one email to that student regarding the course he is inquiring, right? So now to send an email to the student regarding the course he is inquiring, now I need to create one flow in the Power Automate. I need to create one flow in the Power Automate. So what this flow need to do? This flow need to send the emails to the students regarding the courses they are inquiring. Now, when they want to send the emails, when this flow will send the emails to the students regarding the courses they are inquiring, whenever the new record is created. That means inserted. Created is nothing but what? Inserted. So whenever the new student record is inserted, immediately by taking that student data as a reference, we need to go and send one automated email to the student regarding the courses. So here, this is what, when to go and use the automated flow. So when something is happened in the data sources, then if you want to do some automations, go and use automated case, right? Fine. And next one is scheduled. Now when to go and use the scheduled flows? These are also used for what? These are also used to automate the repeated work process. But when these are used to automate the work process based on the scheduled date and time intervals. Try to understand, guys. What is the use of the scheduled flows? these are also used to automate the work process only. But when these are used to automate the work process based on the scheduled date and time. That means whenever if you want to do some automations based on the date and time interval, then go and use the scheduled flows. Let me give an example now. Let me give an example when to go and use it, guys. Let's take a simple example. Let's take there is one company, guys. Any company it is. If you take any company, let's take Microsoft, Infosys, IBM, Deloitte. So any company if you take, right? So let's take Infosys companies. I'm taking some example. Let's take Infosys companies there. Now what the requirement here is? Now Infosys company, they want to send the birthday wishes to the employees. They want to send what? Birthday wishes to their employees. When they want to send? Every day. When they want to send? Every day. At what time? Morning 6 a.m. Right. This is what their requirement is. Infosys company, they want to send the birthday wishes to their employees every day in the morning 6 a.m. So Infosys means they'll have some thousands of employees are working. So let's say around, let's take 30,000 employees are working, or let's take 10,000 employees are working in Infosys company. Now, what's my requirement here is every day in the morning 6 a.m. I want to check among those 10,000 employees, which employee date of birth is matching with today's date. Every day in the morning 6 a.m. I want to check among those 10,000 employees, which employee date of birth is matching with today's date. So if there is any employee date of birth is matching with today's date, then send the email to that employee regarding what? Birthday wishes. So now here my requirement, I want to send the email at what time? 6 a.m. At what date? Every day. Every day, guys, even Saturdays, Sundays, even it is a festival day also, I want to send the emails to the employees regarding the birthday wishes, right? So now, if you want to do this work with the help of humans, now who will come to the office at morning 6 a.m. just to send the birthday wishes? No one will come. That too, even Saturdays, Sundays, and festival days also. So if you want to do this work, if you want to do this work with the help of humans, no, it is not possible, guys. Humans are not able to do it. So now my requirement, I want to do this work with the help of some systems. So if you want to, now I want to automate it. So if you want to automate this work, then you need to go and use what type of flow? Schedule flow. Why? Because I want to create a flow. I want to create a flow where it will send the birthday wishes to the employees every day in the morning 6 a.m. So my flow need to run. This flow, when this flow need to run? This flow need to run every day. Every day. What is the date? What is the day? Every day. What's the time? 6 a.m. Every day morning 6 a.m. the flow need to run. So whenever if you want to do some automations based on the date and time, then go and use what? Scheduled flows, right? So now we understand when to go and use automated, when to go and use the scheduled flows. Next, there is one more, instant. So now these are also used for what? Instant flows are also used for what? To automate the process only. Let me keep here. These are used to automate the repeated workflows or work process manually by tapping a button. Simple. Try to understand, guys. What is the use of this flows? These are also used to automate the work process only. But when these are used to automate the work process manually by tapping some buttons, that means let's take my requirement. I don't want to automate the process when something is happening in the resources, or let's say I don't want to automate the process based on the date and time. Now, when I want to automate the work process means only whenever I click on some button, whenever I click on one button manually, then only I want to do some automations. So whenever if you want to do some automations manually by clicking on some buttons, then in this case, we'll go and use what? Instant flows. This instant flows is also called as manual flows, guys. These are also called as what? Manual flows, because these flows will run only whenever the user click on some buttons manually. That means whenever it is required for you, whenever it is required for you, at that time you can go and click on some button So whenever you click on some buttons, automatically it will start the process, right? So these are all the three different types of flows we can create, guys. So now we understand when to go and use the automated flows, when to go and use scheduled, and when to go and use what? Instant flows, right? So now what is our requirement here? Our requirement is in Power Apps, in Power Apps, whenever we go and click on the submit button, what happens? Whatever the data is there in this form, that data comes into the SharePoint. So now, whenever the data comes here into the SharePoint, once the data comes here, immediately by taking that student email as a reference, I want to send one automated email regarding what course he is inquiring. Now, someone can answer, guys, online people. In order to go and achieve this requirement, we need to go and create what type of flow here? To achieve this requirement, we will go and take which type of flow?
Automated flow.
Automated flow, correct? Right. So we need to go and use the automated flow to achieve our requirement. So let me go and open Power Automate and let me show you how to create an automated flow in order to go and achieve this requirement, right? Fine. So first let me go and open the Power Automate. How to open what? Power Automate, right? Let me go and open the Power Automate. To open the Power Automate, again, there are two ways here. Two ways we'll have. One is you can open it from the Microsoft 365, m365.cloud.microsoft. Another way, make.powerautomate.com. So this is the another way to open the Power Automate. So as today is the first class for Power Automate, I'll show you how to open the Power Automate from the Microsoft case. So anyway, we'll discuss them in our upcoming sessions. So let me go to the Microsoft 365 now, and then go to the search bar. Let me go and search for what? Power Automate. You can see Power Automate application. Just go and select it. Select this application. Now it is opening what? Now it is opening the Power Automate software, right? Right. Let it open, guys. Right. So this is what the Power Automate software. And now, once after open the Power Automate software, here also make sure you need to connect to the environment. Whatever the environment you connected, you connected in the Power App. Whatever the environment you connected in the Power App, default environment, right? The same environment you need to take here in the Power Automate also. Go to the default environment. And next, once after connecting to the environment, now to create the flows, go to which tab? Create tab. Go to which tab? Create tab. And from here, you can create the different types of flows. So you can see what are the different types of flows we can create. As I said that automated cloud flow. Second, you can see here instant flows. You can see button click here. Instant means on clicking on the buttons only it will start the process. Scheduled flows, you can see alarm icon, date and time. So these are the three different flows which we are going to discuss in our upcoming sessions in a detailed way, right? And apart from that, there are a few more. Describe it to design it. It is using AI, Copilot. It is using what? AI, Copilot. We can use Copilot here to create the flows. If you don't want to create the flows from the beginning, so you can use some prompt. You can you just explain your requirement to Copilot. So based on the requirement you are providing, automatically Copilot will go and generate one flow for us, guys, right? It is using AI. Next, there is something called desktop flows and process mining. These two will comes under the desktop flows, guys. Desktop flows means people, those who are coming from RPA background, those people can know. Desktop flows comes under the RPA. RPA stands for robotic process automation. So in the previous days, where the companies are storing their business data means companies are storing their business data in their servers, local servers. They'll maintain separate servers internally, and they'll go and store the business data, and they'll maintain the servers, everything in the on-premises. So if the business data and the servers is there in the on-premises, then to do the automations, they will use the desktop flows, guys. But nowadays, almost everything is cloud. So we are not going to concentrate on this desktop flows. Just ignore it. We are not going to concentrate. We are going to discuss about these three different flows. These are cloud flows. You can see there is a word added in this cloud. Cloud flows we are going to cover. Also, we'll discuss about AI, Copilot. How to use Copilot to create the flows, right? Okay. Now, as we understand, to achieve our requirement, we need to go and use what type of flow? automated flow. Let me go and select this flow, guys. Automated flow. Let me select the flow, right? Let me select this flow. And then, so when I select the flow, it is asking us to pass the flow name. Let me pass the flow name as what? Let me pass the flow name as, let me keep here, send the email, send an email to students regarding course, right? We need, creating this flow to send the email to the students regarding the courses, guys. Once after passing the flow name, this is the name of your flow. Next, it is asking us what? Select your flows trigger. Important. What is meant by trigger? It is important, guys. We'll discuss about what is trigger in the coming classes, around 20 minutes of time. So it is somewhat important, we'll cover. But for now, it is easy, guys. Trigger means it is not a new thing for us, you know. So if you see, when I hold the mouse on this information icon, what it is telling, what's the meaning of trigger? Trigger is an event. Trigger is a thing, but what? It is an event that starts your flow, right? What is meant by trigger? Trigger is an event which starts your cloud flow. So this is the flow you are creating, right? Okay, you are creating one flow. This is the flow name. Now, when you want to run the flow, run means trigger. When trigger means the flow will start. So when you want to trigger the flow, so that's what the trigger here. So you need to define the trigger now. When this flow need to run. Now, as we know that, guys, someone can answer, when I want to run the flow now, based on our requirement, when the flow need to run. Yes, please. What's my requirement? I want to send the emails to the students whenever, when I want to send the email to the students.
As
When
and
a
when
student,
required.
as soon as any student joined.
When a
Whenever
record is
the
created, record is
correct,
created.
correct. Whenever the new record is created, immediately I want to run the flow, right? So that is what my trigger. So let me go here, choose a trigger. So here, there are a lot of triggers we'll have, guys. Hundreds and thousands of triggers is there. So simple, what is our trigger is? This is what our trigger. I want to run this flow only when an item is created. Where the item is created? In the SharePoint. So in the SharePoint, whenever the new item is created, then only the flow will start. Otherwise, I don't want to start the flow. So let me go and select this trigger and then click on what? Create. Right. Okay. So now you understand, basic understanding is what's meant by a trigger, right? So now this is the modern UI. This is the modern Power Automate UI where we can create the flows. But this modern UI, it is a preview feature, guys. It is a preview feature. It is not live. So for now, I'll go and turn off this modern designer. I'll turn off this modern so that I'll go to the classic UI. I'll go to what? Classic UI. So anyway, in our classes, once if I start the Power Automate classes in the regular class work, I'll discuss both classic UI and also the modern UI, guys. So the options will be same. Only the UI is different, guys. Only the UI is different. The options you are seeing in the classic UI and the modern UI will be same. There is no change in the options. Only the UI is different, right? Fine. So now if you see, what is the first step in the flow? Trigger. This is our trigger. Make a note, always keep in mind, what should be the first step in the flow? The first step in the flow should be trigger. Trigger means which starts your flow. Trigger is a thing but what? Which starts your flow. When the flow will start? Whenever the item is created. So let me go and pass here the site address and list name. Okay, whenever the item is created, you want to run the flow. Where the item is created now? So you need to pass the site and list name. What's my site? This is what my site. So now how to connect to that site? Simple. Click on this drop down. It will show the site name automatically. Select the site name. Once after selecting the site name, then automatically it will show the list names, the list available in this site. When I click on this drop down, now see it is showing the list called what? Students. Let me select that list. That means whenever the item is created in this list, then only the flow will start. Otherwise, it doesn't start. Okay. Now, once the flow starts, now what the flow need to do? Okay, whenever the new item is created, the flow will start. Now, what the flow need to do? It need to send an email. What the flow need to do? it need to send an email. So regarding what it need to send an email? Course. So first of all, we need to understand for which course the student is inquired, guys. So if you observe, few students will inquire for Power BI course, few students will inquire for SQL course, few students will inquire for Power Apps course, right? So now we need to understand for which course the student is inquired. First of all, we need to understand about what? For which course the student is inquired. Let me click on submit. Now, if I go and check the SharePoint, now see in the SharePoint, I need to have 2 rows, refresh the list. Now, if you observe, so few students will inquire for Power BI course, few will inquire for SQL, few will inquire for Power Apps. So now I want to send the email to the student regarding which course he is inquired, right? For which course the student is inquired, regarding that course I want to send the email. Otherwise, other courses I don't want to send. So how the Power Automate will come to know which course the student is inquired? First of all, Power Automate need to understand for which course the student is inquired. So for this, what I'll do here is I'll go and add a new step here, guys. Let me go and add one new step. So here I'll go and add an action. You can see we have the actions here. There are a number of actions we'll have, guys. So what is the action I want to take place here is, so as my requirement, I want to know the course name for which course the student is inquired. So I'll go to the control. I'll go to the option called controls. And here, there are different controls we'll have. I'll go and use one of the control called switch control. Switch is nothing but simple, guys. It is like a case statement. Switch control is nothing but what? It is like a case statement. I think all of you know what's the case statement, right? I think most of you people know what the case statement will do. Same here, switch, same functionality, just the name is different. So now I'll use the switch control here, select the switch control. And now here it is asking us to pass the switch value. Now you want to check which value. So whenever the item is created, I want to check for what? I want to know what is the course it is. I want to know what course the student is inquired. So let me go here. Let me go to the Power Automate, and in the switch condition, so let me go to this and then go to the dynamic content. You can see there is something called, let me go here. You can see there is something called what? Dynamic content, add dynamic content. So now my requirement, which whenever the item is created, at that time I want to know the course name. So for this, go to the dynamic content. And from the dynamic content, you can see before this action, we have one trigger, right? Now we can see the different options about the trigger. When an item is created, now what this trigger is doing, this trigger will get the complete details of that item, guys. Which item is created, the complete details of that item, automatically this trigger will capture, right? So you can see the ID of that row, name, email, mobile, course, education. I want to take what now? Course. Let me take it from the dynamic content. So let me take the course here. So now what is happening? Whenever the item is created, from that item, it will take what? Course, right? Okay. So now if the course is equals to what? Let's take, I'm defining here. If the course is equals to Power Apps, if the course is equals to what? Power Apps, then what I want to do? If the course is equals to Power Apps, then what's my requirement? First of all, I want to send an email to the student, right? Let me go and add an action, guys, and then go and search for send an email. Just search for what? Send an email. Now you can see there is an action called send email, guys. Let me take this action. I want to send an email now. Let it create. It is taking the connection. Let it take the connections. First, I want to check the course. Okay. If the course is equals to Power Apps, then what's my requirement? I want to send an email to the student. So now here we need to pass the 2 address, guys. So if you see, when I go and keep my name here, what happens? I'm hard coding my email ID, guys. Now what happens now? Every time whenever the item is created, it will send an email to me. But this is not my requirement. To whom I want to send the email? Which student record you created? For that student, I want to send an email. So I want to take the student email ID and I want to pass here in the to address. Now, how I can take this? So again, go to where? Dynamic content. Go to the dynamic content. And whenever the item is created, we can capture the email ID. This is the column name in the SharePoint. Just select it. And then subject. What is subject? Let me keep here. It is which course? Power Apps course details, right? Simple. Now compose the email. So let me go and take the email from here. I'll to compose the mail, it will take some lot of time. So I'll take it from here. You people also receive the same email. I think whenever you inquired for Power Apps course, so you people also receive the same email, right? I'll just copy the same mail here. Just copy it, and I'll paste it here. So to compose it, it will take some lot of time. So I'm just copying and pasting it. Let me select the analytics benchmark, keep it in the bold. Select the analytics, keep some color formatting so that fields looks better. So which course it is? Power Apps and Power Automate course, right? So you can see the details of the course here. I'm composing one email, right? Not only sending the email, now I want to add the attachment also, course content. I want to add some attachment. So how to add the attachments here? You can see there is an option called show advanced options. And here you can add the attachments, attachment name, attachment content. So how I can get the course content now? So for that, already I did some rough work. So let me go to the OneDrive, I guess. I'm having one, I think we haven't did it. Let me go to the OneDrive now. So let me go and open the OneDrive for business. Now in the OneDrive for business, I'll go and create one folder. I'll go and get one folder, create one folder. Keep the folder name as, already it is signed in, right? It is asking again. Keep the folder name as courses, course content. Click on create and go to the files. And you can see the folder name. Go to that folder, right click, and I want to add the files, upload the files. So let me go and upload the different files now. I want to add the Power Apps course content on that file, add it. I want to upload another file, Power BI course content. I'll need to upload another one more file, that is SQL Server course content, right? Let me upload this. All right, what I'm doing here, I'm just uploading those files here. I'm keeping the files here. Just refresh it once, right? Okay, we have the files. And then let me go to the Power Automate now. So whatever the file attached, whatever the course content is there here in the OneDrive, I want to get it. So how to get it? Let me go and add one more action. To get the files from the OneDrive, there is an action called get file content. Get file content. So let me go and take this action, guys. I want to get the file content from where? From the OneDrive for business, right? Let me take it. And then it is going to sign into the OneDrive for business. Let it sign in. Right. It is asking us to pass the folder path. I want to take the Power Apps course content. Click on this folder icon, go to the root, go to the courses folder, and select the Power Apps course. This is the Power Apps course content. Let me select it. Right. Once after getting the course content, first I want to get the course content. Yes. Next, send an email. So the order is important. First to get the course content, then add that course content in the attachment. Go to the attachments now. And then here, let me go to the attachment content, pass the get file content output. Let me pass it here and pass the file name. PDF. Extension is mandatory, yes. Whatever the file it is, that extension is, it is a PDF file, so I'm passing the extension as .pdf. Okay, so I'm sending one email. I'm getting the file content and sending the email. Not only this, next my requirement, I want to send an email to the trainer also. Who is the trainer for the course? I want to send an email for that particular trainer, guys. So let me go and send it. Let's take, I want to send an email to the particular trainer also. So Power Apps trainer. Who is the Power Apps trainer? Let's take myself. I'm taking my email ID, Pinky, and subject, new inquiry. Let me keep here, hi, Venki, new student inquired for Power Apps course, right? I want to mention the course name now. Course name. Sorry, not course name, student name, S name. I want to mention the student name here. So let me go to the dynamic content. Again, take the student name from here. And then let me keep the email ID of that student. So that if the trainer wants to communicate with that student, they can communicate. Let me keep this email and the student name in the bold, right? Okay. And next, one more thing I need to do here. I want to send a notification in the Teams for the AB trainings owner. So let me go and send one notification in the Teams. Let me go and search for post a message in the chat or a channel. Post a message in the chat or a channel. This is the action I want to take. I want to post a message in the Teams. Let me take this. It is adding the connection. Let it create the connection. Right. So now here, there are two options you need to pass. Post as what? Flowbot. And post in where you want to post it. I want to post in a chat, direct to chat. And next, you need to pass the two address to whom you want to send it. To whom I want to send for the trainer. Who is the trainer for this course? Myself. Let's take, I'm entering my email ID. Right. Fine. Okay. And then let me go and keep the message for the AB trainings owner, right? New inquiry for Power Apps course. Simple message. That's all. Enough. Now, this is what the things I want to perform. When, if the course is equals to Power Apps, these are all the actions I want to take place. So same I want to repeat for remaining guys. If the course is equals to Power BI, then what you need to do? If the course is equals to SQL, then what? So let me go and add one more action, guys. I want to add one more case here, not an action case. Add a new case. So now I'll check for what new Power BI. If the course is equals to Power BI, then what I need to do, guys? Here also, first I want to get the file content. Let me repeat, guys. Same actions. Let me keep here get file content. I'll do it quick. Same actions I'll go and add. Power BI course now. Now go and compose an email. Send an email to whom? For the student. Which student is inquired? Take the email ID of that student. Subject. Power BI course details. And what will be the body? I'll take the same body. You can do, guys. You can do modifications, whatever you want to do. But now I'm just copying and pasting the body. I'll just change here the course to what? Power BI. Just to change the course to what? Power BI. Remaining, I'm keeping as usual. If you want to compose it, you can compose. Whatever the mail you want to compose, it is up to you. Right. And let me add the attachment. I want to add the attachment here. Power BI dot PDF. And let me go and add the attachment file content. Right. And then next, I want to send another one more email to the trainer, Power BI trainer. Send an email. And I want to send another email to the trainer. Let me go and send it to whom? Let's take who is the trainer for Power BI courses. Let's take Sunil Kumar. Just go and search for the user. Sunil Kumar is the user. Sorry, Sunil Kumar is the trainer for Power BI. So let me keep the subject as what? New inquiry. Just I'll copy and then paste it here. New inquiry. And body also I'll just copy, paste it. So let me change the name to Sunil. Hi Sunil. New student inquired for which course? Power BI course. And then let me keep the student name in the bold. Email ID also in the bold. When I do copy paste, dynamic content doesn't work. So let me take the dynamic content again. Right? Okay. And next, post a message in the chat or a channel. I want to post a message to the trainer, sorry, not trainer, institute owner. Let's take here, post a message in the chat or a channel. So let me post as Flowbot, post in as a chat, and to whom you want to send it. owner of a institute. Let's take Sunil Kumar is the owner, guys. Sunil is the owner of this institute. Here also, I'll mention Sunil itself to overcome the confusions. Sunil is the owner. For this institute. Okay, right. Let me keep the message. What the message text I'll keep? New inquiry for which course? Power BI course. Just I'm keeping some simple text, guys. If you want to keep whatever the text you want, you can keep there. Right. If the course is equals to Power BI, this is what I need to do. Let's take if the course is equals to SQL, then go and add one more case. I'll add another case. If the course is equals to what? SQL Server. Then what I need to do? Here also I want to get the file content. Get file content. Get file content. Sorry, not from the SharePoint. We need to get it from the OneDrive. Let me go and take the folder path. Just wait 5 minutes time. I'll take the questions. Just wait for some time. Give me 5 minutes. I'll complete and I'll take the questions. Right. Now go and send an email to the student. Send an email to the student regarding the course. So to whom I want to send? For the student who is inquiring for the course. Regarding which course? No? SQL Server course details. Body. What will be the body? I'll take the same body. You can do modifications. I'll take the same body, paste it. Just I'll change the course to what? SQL Server. Right. And next, let me go and add the attachment. Let me go and add the attachment. Let me take the attachment here. Once after adding the attachment, now go and send an email to the trainer. SQL Server trainer, I want to send an email. To address, to whom I want to send, to the trainer of SQL. Let's take who is the trainer for SQL. Anil. Anil is the trainer. Let's take subject. What will the subject? New inquiry. And what will be the body? Let me copy the body from here. Paste it. Let me change the name to what? Anil. Hi, Anil. Keep the Anil in the bold. Keep the Sunil in the bold here also. Let me go and change the course to SQL. And let me keep it in the bold. When you do copy paste, dynamic content doesn't work. So remove the dynamic content and add it again. Email and S name, right? And then finally post a message. It's done now. One more action, post a message in the chat or a channel. So I want to post in through chat message, send it to whom? Owner of AB trainings. Who is the owner? Let's take Sunil. I'm taking Sunil is the owner. And then keep the text as what? A new inquiry for SQL course. Right. Okay. Right. Fine. So this is what the flow case. And also let me do one thing. I will rename these case names so it doesn't feel looks good. I will rename it to Power Apps. Power Apps. And then I'll go and rename it to Power BI. Rename this case to what? Power BI. And let me go and rename it to what? SQL. Fine. So I done with creating the flow case. This is what the flow I created. So now what the flow will do? This flow will start only whenever the item is created. And then what this flow will check? It will check the course. So if the course is equals to Power Apps, then it will go and execute these actions. Otherwise, if the course is equals to Power BI, it will go and execute these actions. If the course is equals to SQL, then it will go and execute these actions, right? Fine. So let me go and save it, guys. Let me save the flow and test it. Save it and then test. Right, the flow is saved. Let me go and test. You can see there is an option called test here. So for the first time, you need to test it manually. From the second time onwards, it will automatically run. Let me go and click on test case. So now, when the flow will start, this flow will start only whenever the item is created. So let me do one thing. I'll go and create one item. Let me go and create one item. So I'll show you, I'll enter my details only, guys, so that you'll understand, so that I can show you what's the mail I'm getting as a student. Let's take, I'm keeping here student name as Venki. Email ID, I'm entering my email ID itself. Mobile number, I'm entering some number. I'm entering some number. And course, I'll take SQL here. Let's take SQL as the course. And education background is BTech. And then click on submit. So now see, still the flow is waiting. The flow is not running, guys. Still it is waiting for what? So for the row, whenever the item is created, then only the flow will start. So let me go and click on submit. When I click on submit, now see, the record is created. If I go and check my flow, yes, if you see the flow is running, and also you see the record is created. Venki is the record, this is the mail ID. And if I go and check my flow, yes, the flow runs successful. And now, if I go and check the course, let me go to the switch case. When I go to the switch, now it is showing what course it is. The course name is SQL. The student is inquired for which course? SQL course. So if the course is equals to SQL, then what it is executing, if you see, course is SQL, so it is not executing Power Apps. It is get cancelled. It is not executing Power BI. It is get cancelled. It is executing what? This case. You can see the green color tick mark here. So it is executing all these actions. So let me check, guys, whether I received any email or not. I am the student, right? Here in this scenario, I am the student. This is my email ID. So let me open my email. Let me check whether I received any email regarding the course or not. Let me go to my inbox. Yes, I received one email now. Just now I received it. If I go and check here, so dear aspirants, we are from Analytics Benchmark Institute for which course? SQL Server course. You can see SQL course details. So I'm getting one email and you can see the attachment also here, right? Okay. So let me check whether it is sending an email to the trainer or not. So who is the trainer? Anil Kumar. So we need to log in with that user. So right now, I think, let me check whether we have that user here. Let me check if the user is already logged in, I'll show you. Otherwise, anyway, the mail is received. There is no doubt in that. Trainer will receive an email. I think it is not there. Let me check. What is the email ID? Let me check here. Email ID, the user, Anil Kumar. There is no space. Okay, let me go here. Just it is Anil Kumar. Click on next. Let me enter the password. So I'm logging as Anil. Anil Kumar is the trainer for SQL. If I go and check the Outlook for Anil Kumar need to receive an email that so-and-so student is inquired for your course. Let me check. Yes, if you see, he received it. We can observe it is received. Hi Anil, new student is inquiring for which course? SQL course. What's the student name? Venki. This is the email ID of that student. And also if I go and check here, the institute owner, Teams, who is the owner of this institute? Sunil Kumar. So now again, I need to log in with Sunil to check it, guys. So definitely there is no doubt he will receive. To show that again, I need to log in here. So let me do, I'll show you. If I show it, it will be very, very clear to you people. M365, m365.cloud.microsoft. Now let me log in as Sunil Kumar, not this user. Let me go and log in as Sunil. And let me check Sunil Kumar received the email or not. Not an email, out Teams notification. Let me go and open the Teams for Sunil. I'm logging as Sunil Kumar now. And let me check the Teams notification, whether he received a notification in the Teams chat or not. It is establishing the connections. Just wait, it's taking some time. Right, it is done. Now you can see, guys, just now it is received. Just now, 8:33. A new inquiry for which course? SQL Server course, right? Fine. Right. So this is how it will send one notification, guys. Just now we received it today. Today we received it. So this is how we'll go and create one flow in Power Automate to achieve our requirement. Whatever the requirement we have yesterday's class and today's class, it will be continuation of yesterday's class. So here in today's class, we understand in a detailed way what is Power Automate, what are the different types of automations we can do, and which type of automation will helps us to achieve our requirement. So remaining flows we'll discuss, guys. Instant flows, schedule flows also will cover in a detailed way. In a detailed way, we'll discuss from the basic to advanced level of creating the flows in Power Automate, right? Fine. So I'll stop here today. So still now we're done with the 3 introduction classes. There is one more class pending, Introduction to Power BI. That's what we are going to discuss in next class tomorrow. Tomorrow's class, it is class 4. We will discuss about Power BI. But before that, make a note. As I said that you have the access to attend the 3 free classes, guys. So by today we completed all the 3 free classes. By today we completed all the 3 free classes. So people, those who want to continue in this batch, contact to my team. Anyway, my team will get in touch with you. Contact to my team, enroll, and get the license details. I said that I'm going to share the licenses to you for practice purpose, right? So people, those who got registered, you people receive an email immediately regarding the license. Regarding what? The licenses. So we'll share the license, Microsoft 365 user license, which you can access for 3 months. So people, those who got registered already, so yesterday, today, and before starting the class, also few people got registered. More than around 15 students got registered still already. So for you people who already got registered, I think my team already shared for you people the mails. So people, those who haven't received the emails, you people definitely get the mails tomorrow by 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. But tomorrow at 10 o'clock, definitely you'll receive the mails who got already registered, right? So people, those who haven't registered still, you can contact to my team, enroll and collect these licenses and start doing practice, guys. So immediately do practice, don't postpone it. If you postpone it, definitely there is no doubt you are not able to do practice in no more in the coming sessions, because so every day by day, the complexity of working with Power Apps and Power Automate will increase. So you'll feel difficult if you are postponing, not doing practice. Today's class, will do it tomorrow. It is wasting of your time, right? Fine. So as I said that first 3 classes are completed. Who wants to continue in this batch, enroll and get the license details to practice. And people, those who already registered, around 15 people got registered already today. So for you people, already my team shared some mails with you. If still not received, who have registered today afternoon onwards, for you people, definitely you'll receive the mail tomorrow by 10 o'clock. So once if you receive the license details, immediately start doing practice, right? Fine. So I'll stop here today and I'll see in the next class on when? Tomorrow. Tomorrow at what time? Same time. What we'll discuss there? Introduction to what? Power BI, right? Fine. So I'll stop here. Now, if you have any questions now in today's class, yes, online people, now you can please unmute and go ahead.